Hi there, good afternoon. You're watching Your Trades on ET now. I am Sneha. With me is Ajisha Advaryu, and this is a show where we'll be summing up the trading action that we've seen today. So let's get right to it and let's take a look at how the markets have closed for the day. Nifty, we've seen a little bit of a recovery coming in from the day's lowest point in the last few minutes of the trading day. We've managed to surpass the 24,800 level, and 24,826 is where we have closed. But nonetheless, it's been a lackluster trading day coming in for us. A 0.7% cut coming in on the Nifty, Sensex in tandem, 0.7% cut coming over there as well. A further 3% rise almost coming in on India VIX, and now we're above that 18.5 level. Nifty Bank too saw some recovery from the day's low, but nonetheless a 0.4% cut coming in on Nifty Bank, but above 55,300 is where we have ended on that index. It's really been the day of the broader end of the market today, because even though they have ended absolutely flat, it's still been with a little bit of a positive bias and a sharp uptick coming in on Nifty mid cap. Remember, at one point of the trading day, it was in the red, but now I have Nifty mid cap and small cap have both ended with a percentage point gain of or 0.1% gain rather on the charts today. So green ending coming in for small cap and mid cap, but it's been the shade of red for the rest of the market. It's the names like Jio Financial, Indus Bank, Trent, Adani Ports, Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy's that have ended the day in the green. These are the top Nifty gainers. Jio Financial, of course, because that JV with BlackRock has been given the go-ahead by SEBI. On the flip side, you have Ultratech Cement, ITC, JSW Steel, Tata Motors, Axis Bank and Grasim that are the top Nifty losers in today's trading session. Sectorally, you only have PSU Banks, Realty and Pharma that have ended the day in the green. Nifty Energy absolutely flat. On the flip side, biggest loser today is Nifty FMCG, followed by IT, Auto, Metal and Nifty Bank. So that's what the breadth of the market is shaping up to be like today. But lots of stock-specific action as well today, Ashesha.
Well, absolutely. A lot of stock-specific action. And first up, let's talk about Interglobe Aviation. On the back of that block deal that took place today, the stock ended the day with a cut of nearly 2%. In fact, 5.8% equity changed hands, and Rakesh Gangwal and the promoter group sold a stake in the company. So on account of this, Interglobe Aviation was in focus. But apart from that, a whole host of shipping companies will continue to be in focus for the next several trading sessions. We are getting to know from sources that status upgrade is likely for Cochin Shipyard and Goa Shipyard. So both these counters in the entire sector will be in focus on the back of that. KAC International, on the back of its numbers, was in focus today. Revenues jumped 12%. Profit after tax saw an uptick of a solid 77% on a year-on-year basis. Order book position continues to remain very strong. The stock was in focus. And Aurobindo Pharma, after it reported a mixed set of numbers and management commentary that came in with respect to its guidance for FY26, margins are expected to be at similar levels in FY26 as well. So some management commentary coming in over there, and Aurobindo Pharma was in focus on the back of that. Apart from that, in other news then, Foreign Secretary will be visiting the United States for fresh round of trade talks, and the trade deal between India and US will also be on the cards for the next few days. So those are some of the big movers in today's trading session. But to discuss exactly that, we now have Vikas joining us on the show. Vikas, thank you so much for taking your time out. On the index level, we did break below that 25,000 mark. But what will your view be on the technicals for both Nifty and Bank Nifty now?
Look at Nifty almost tested the higher band of 25,000, 25,050. And as we were into the expiry week, the roll-over movement was pretty swift. So 25,000 as the highest for open interest, so this is facing resistance. But simultaneously 24,700 as the highest put, and which was the breakout zone. So that will act as a support. So we believe markets should end higher on the expiry day on Thursday, above 25,000 mark, with the way the markets are shaping with individual sector rotation. In terms of Bank Nifty is resisting near to the double top of 56,000 what it achieved. But Bank Nifty looks pretty promising. Maybe Bank Nifty could break out in the next week when the RBI credit policy comes through going forward.
Okay, so that's the take coming in from Vikas and where the index is headed. But Vikas, also share with us some stock-specific recommendations and what are you liking at the moment?
So look at the chemical sectors has been pretty buzzing around across mid caps and small caps. Aarti Industries has witnessed a strong amount of rebound again, holding its short-term averages, and it's on the verge of breaking its 200-day average. We have witnessed strong participation in the last few hours of trade. So Aarti Industries looks like a promising buy with a target of around 545 and a stop loss of 455. And the second stock we like is on the CDMO space, Syngene International. Post a sell-off from the result space, the stock has continuously witnessing making higher bottoms on the weekly charts. So the stock could see strong amount of outperformance into the June expiry. So would like to recommend Syngene with a stop of 610 and a target of 720.
Syngene and Aarti Industries, two buy calls coming in from Vikas. Vikas, thanks so much for taking your time out and joining us today here on the show. But let's refocus then. Shrishti is now joining us and she has spotted some stocks on the charts for us. Shrishti, tell us which are the breakout and breakdown stocks today.
All right, so two breakout stocks that we got for our viewers today. Firstly, the chemical basket has been doing pretty well, and from the pack, let's have a look at the charts of Tata Chemicals. How are they shaping up? Because for today, the jump that we have seen in the stock was actually indeed was a breakout and rather a break of its key resistance of 870 odd rupees. You can see that multiple times the stock did face a hurdle, at least at those levels. But for today, strong green candle is what the stock witnessed, and not just that, a break above these levels. And now the stock has been trading above its key moving averages. A while back, it seems to be flirting at those levels, but now a decisive breakout is what we have seen on Tata Chemicals. It is indeed one of those volatile counters, but for today, with this whole chemical basket doing well, Tata Chemicals was indeed one of the stocks that did come on the radar. Other than that, the other stock too is a breakout candidate, and have a look at Suprajit Engineerings, because this stock, though of late has been consolidating in quite a tight range, but today you will see that the stock managed to break above its key resistance of 430 rupees rather, because even in the last couple of weeks the stock was actually retesting those levels, wasn't that successful to actually go ahead and move past that. But for today, now did break above those levels and now trading above its key moving averages as well. So these are the two stocks that we wish to highlight on the breakout side. Back to you guys.
Okay, two stocks on the breakout side, so looking good at least on the charts. That's the word coming in from Shrishti. Well, let's move on and talk about the word from the wise. We interacted with Pratik Agarwal, the MD and CEO at AMCA earlier in the day. He listed out the sectors that he is bullish on, and he says that he would prefer to avoid banks at this stage. Let's go across and understand why he said so.
Some bit of benefit will go into menus maybe, so that is import parity pricing on cost. So if the traffic holds, then there would be higher margins. Banks no, because if more rate cuts happen than anticipated, then the pressure on NIM will start to manifest itself. NBFCs, yes, for the same reason, their input is money from banks, and the cost of that would reduce.
Interglobe Aviation was the other stock which was in focus today. It ended the day with a cut of nearly 2% on the back of two block deals that took place. Kanishka, my colleague, is now joining us with all the details about the block deal. Kanishka, over to you.
Well, Rakesh Gangwal, the co-founder of India's largest airline Indigo, and his family trust are seeking as much as 11,385 crore rupees via block deal from an upsized stake sale of 5.7% stake. Via block deals, this is what we are picking up from reports. Now, this comes as the billionaire continues to reduce his holding in the operator Interglobe Aviation. Gangwal and the Chinkapu family trust are selling as many as 22 million shares in the block deals. This is what we are picking up from reports. Now, just to give you some background, as of March 31st, 2025, the Gangwal family held a 13.5% stake in Indigo. Now, the latest planned sale represents another step in their phased exit from the airline, which Rakesh Gangwal had co-founded with Rahul Bhatia in 2006. Now, remember, just 3 years ago, their holding was was nearly 37%. In August 2024, they sold 5.2% stake for 9,549 crore rupees. And prior to that, in March 2024, they sold 5.8% stake that fetched 6,786 crore rupees. Sobha Gangwal, in fact, exited the company completely, offloading a 4% stake in August 2023 for about 2,944 crore rupees. Now, given all these developments over the past 3 years, analysts have pointed out to how Indigo has adopted a different operational strategy after Peter Elbers joined the company as CEO in September 2022. This was after Gangwal exited the Indigo board in Feb 2022. Now, if you look at the shareholding pattern, as of March 2025, Interglobe Enterprises remains the largest shareholder in Indigo with a 35.7% stake. The Gangal family, through the Chinkapu Family Trust and Rakesh Gangwal's personal holdings, they collectively own about 13.5%. That's 8.2% via the trust and 5.3% directly. Institutional investors also continue to have a significant presence, with FIs holding about 25% and DIs owning 20% thereabout. The public shareholding stands at 4.8%, while the government holds a minimal stake of 0.07%. Now, as we said earlier, this distribution does reflect a gradual reduction in the promoter holdings, particularly by the Gangwal family.
Thanks for all of those finer details on the block deal, and of course we are going to have more details now that the market is closed towards the evening. We are going to have more details on the names of the buyers who've participated in this block deal as well. But Indigo took a hit of 2% in today's trade, and that was a stock that was widely spoken about today. But what were the other stocks that were in focus today, and where was the spotlight in today's trade? Rabinder is joining us with just that. Rabinder, take it away.
Well, as on back of Q4 earning, Info Edge India is in focus. The company has reported a Q4 number, and company reported revenue as 750 crore as compared to 722 crore quarter-on-quarter basis, and company's PAT saw an uptick of more than 83% quarter-on-quarter basis with exceptional gain of 25 crore. And if we talk about EBITDA and EBITDA margin, while company's EBITDA and EBITDA margin saw pressure, company's margin saw a pressure of 450 basis point quarter basis. Moving to next, Prestige Estate is also in focus, where company has launched a plotted development Prestige Gardenia Estate in Devanahalli, Bangalore, with a revenue potential of 800 crore. Apart from this, Bharti Airtel is also in focus, where Airtel has introduced India's first all-in-one OTT entertainment pack for prepaid users, which offers access to 25 plus leading OTT including Netflix, Jio Hotstar, ZEE5 and Extreme Play Premium starting 279. Apart from this, Infosys is also in focus, where Infosys and Eon collaborate to enable AI-powered digital workspace transformation. And lastly, Jio Financial Services is also in focus, where SEBI has granted approval for the certification of registration to Jio BlackRock Mutual Fund, and they have also approved the Jio BlackRock Asset Management Private Limited to act as an asset management company for Jio BlackRock Mutual Fund.
Rabinder, thanks so much for joining us. So those were the stocks that were in focus today. But Nupresh Shah, Managing Director, Corporate Affairs, Symphony shares that the adjacent category will aid to cover the dent caused by erratic early monsoon. Let's go across and listen into what else he had to say.
Our performance for the quarter should be still decent if we ignore June 24 quarter because it was exceptional summer which wasn't seen for decades or years. But if we consider all other June quarter or summer quarter, we believe that our sales should be by and large in line with those quarters. We don't expect any major recovery. However, we do have products in adjacent category which doesn't have any bearing on account of rain, as well as LSV, as well as exports. So to an extent, that is not impacted. There are decent inquiries from US. Of course, in the current season, it's very difficult to meet with it, but there are going to be some trial supplies, and they are eagerly looking for China plus one, and hence we are gearing up for the next season.
Okay, that's the word coming in from the management of Symphony, talking about the impact of monsoons on their business. But while we are talking about the weather, the southwest monsoon has made its earliest ever onset in India. Will it spur the consumption demand, or will it grow uncertainty in the power supply and demand? We caught up with a whole host of experts to decode the same. Let's go across and listen in.
Our sense is from Q2, we will start seeing green shoots in terms of the urban recovery, because food inflation is again quite benign. Overall inflation is benign. Two interest rate cuts have also happened. Some worry points on urban are still there. Rents are still quite high, and overall wage inflation remains just 4-5%. That is still slightly a concern, but annualization should help, and we see that definitely the food inflation being low. To play that, I would say that again, Nestle, Britannia are good play on that. High urban exposure. The liquor shops are something which we continue to like. United Breweries, United Spirits, Pidilite and Berger.
We don't expect any major recovery. However, we do have products in adjacent category which doesn't have any bearing on account of rain, as well as LSV, as well as exports. So to an extent, that is not impacted. There are decent inquiries from US. Of course, in the current season, it's very difficult to meet with it, but there are going to be some trial supplies.
We have seen too much of rain coming in very short period of time in Maharashtra, especially in Bombay and adjoining areas. So that will have some impact on the early Kharif crop of onion, etc. More important is the distribution of rainfall over the next 4 months.
Demand could be anywhere between 200 gigawatt to 260 gigawatt. We are living in now growing uncertainties both on demand side and supply side. Our power systems have to cater for that. Demand side is now being affected by large loads coming up suddenly, unprecedented weather uncertainties.
That's the word coming in on the impact of early monsoon. But defense stocks were in focus today after Minister Rajnath Singh approved the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft Program execution model via an industry partnership. Sameer Dikshit joins us to explain what it exactly means for the industry.
In a significant move to develop India's defense capabilities and also to move one step more in the direction of Atmanirbhar Bharat in aero defense space, India's Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has announced the approval of the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft Program execution. So this program has now been officially approved by the Defense Ministry, and ADA, the Aeronautical Development Agency, is all set to execute this program. Most importantly, this program will be executed along with the industry partnership. Now, Defense Minister has also mentioned in his tweet or the post which he has put on X platform that this will be a very important step in the direction of indigenous expertise. This will enhance the defense capabilities, and most importantly, this will also showcase to the world that in which direction India is moving to defend its borders, not just on land but also in the skies. Now, let me also tell you that this AMCA, the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, a full-scale model was shown in Aero Show, which was held this year in Bengaluru, and over there the actual capabilities was displayed of this AMCA. Now, the ADA that put up the full-scale model, and through this, it was shown that this AMCA has the capacity of visual range air-to-air missile. This also had the capacity of Tarak 250 glide bomb. In addition to this, smart anti-airfield weapon can also be there in this medium aircraft as well. In addition to this, the internal payload capacity will be somewhere of around 1500 kg. The weapon that it can carry, the external payload could be of 6500 kg, and several other features. So with this sort of program, India is looking to not just enhance its defense capabilities, but also through the industry partnership, they are trying to be more Atmanirbhar Bharat in aero defense space.
Okay, Sameer, thanks for all of those details. But let's move on to another exclusive and then a positive development for PSU Shipping Companies. We're learning from exclusive sources that the government is mulling a status upgrade for two shipping players, Goa Shipyard and Cochin Shipyard. Prakash is here with more details on that. Prakash.
It's a very positive development for PSU Shipping Companies that the government is likely to upgrade the status of Cochin Shipyard Limited and Goa Shipyard Limited. A very significant development coming in. We're given to understand that the Finance Ministry is actively considering the proposal, as both the companies are fulfilling all the necessary criteria for status upgrade. Their status is likely to be upgraded from Mini Ratna to Navratna. A very significant development coming in. Sources tell us that the proposal is being discussed by the group of secretaries at this point of time, and the Department of Public Enterprises will make an announcement. It is important to note that an upgrade in a status will provide greater operational and financial freedom to the company's board. They'll be allowed to make investments up to rupees 1,000 crore without seeking government's approval. In addition to that, the government is also reviewing the status for Ratna categorization to ensure CPSE's performance based as per the status they have been provided.
Prakash, thanks so much for joining us with all those details. But shifting focus to some national stories then, and a week after Commerce Minister PSU Goyal visited the US and had largely productive trade talks, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri is also set to depart for Washington. The visit comes as the 90-day tariff deadline approaches in less than 2 weeks now. Misri is expected to discuss a framework for the bilateral trade deal. Sumita Karir, my colleague, joins us with more details on this development. Sumita, over to you.
That's right. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri is all set to travel to Washington for a 2-day visit to meet senior officials of the Trump administration from May 22nd till 29th. In fact, that's essentially what the Ministry of External Affairs announced. The MEA also says that this visit essentially is a follow-up to Prime Minister's visit to the United States in February 2025. And that's essentially when both the sides had launched the India-US Compact tie-up, which is essentially catalyzing opportunities for military partnership, for accelerated commerce and technology. Remember, this is also coming in even as officials from the United States are expected to visit India, according to what sources are suggesting, to further the talks on the first tranche of a bilateral trade agreement. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, remember, during his visit in Washington in February this year, had held talks with Trump administration on negotiating that first tranche of a mutually beneficial BTA by the fall of 2025. Meanwhile, what you also have happening currently is an eight-member all-party delegation led by Congress MP Shashi Tharoor that's also set to visit the United States after winding up its ongoing visit to Guyana, Panama, Colombia and Brazil to carry forth India's strong message of zero tolerance against terrorism. So the delegation will be visiting, which visited New York en route to Guyana, will be returning to the US for meetings with lawmakers, leaders, opinion shapers and more.
Okay, Samita, thanks for all of those details. But on that note, we'll wrap it up on this edition of Your Trades. That's all the time we had on this show. From Ashesha, me and the team that put the show together, thanks so much for tuning in.